This video is going to be about domestic abuse. Not a pleasant topic, I know, but we do need to talk about unpleasant things sometimes, don't we? The UK government defines domestic abuse as any incident of threatening behaviour, violence or abuse, psychological, physical, sexual, financial or emotional, between adults who are or have been intimate partners or family members, regardless of gender or sexuality. That's a fairly sound definition, I would say. Okay, a big problem is that victims of abuse are very good at hiding it. In a lot of cases, maybe most cases, victims are threatened with more abuse if they tell anyone. So they become very good at hiding the marks and the bruises. And they can become very good actors, acting as if everything were okay. Abusers and victims can seem like the friendliest and happiest of people in public life, with the neighbours never suspecting a thing. But behind closed doors, it's a different world to the one outside. There are certain things to look out for. Even though a victim of domestic abuse or violence might be too afraid to talk about the actual abuse or violence going on, they may vent about other issues in their relationship. They might talk about how jealous their partner is, or what a bad temper they have. Controlling behaviour is something to look out for, of course. What else? If you have someone who suddenly behaves a lot differently when their partner is there, like more tense or more nervous perhaps, you might want to ask yourself why that is. Being made to feel unwelcome by someone every time their partner is there can be a sign that something is wrong, I would say, from personal experience. Often, psychological abuse, emotional abuse, can produce as many negative effects as physical violence can. Psychological, emotional abuse can produce lifelong wounds that don't heal. You know, many people have this attitude towards dealing with their neighbours which is unhealthy, I would say. Some have this what goes on behind closed doors is none of my business attitude. Well, think about what kind of society we would live in if everyone had this attitude. If you've got someone who has been reduced to a prisoner in their own home by a partner or family member, if you know someone who's being battered and abused and treated like dirt, don't you feel like you should reach out and help that person? don't you think you should intervene and put a stop to it, if you can? If my next door neighbour was beating his partner, or her partner, and I knew about it, I would have to do something about it. I'd have to take action. I just couldn't stand by and say, well, what's going on in that house is none of my business. My conscience just wouldn't allow me to have that attitude. People have the right to privacy, yes, but people also have the right not to be treated like a punch bag, or treated as if they were subhuman. So, domestic abuse is my business. It's your business too. Three domestic violence statistics I hear a lot are: number one, 1 in 4 women will be a victim of domestic violence in their lifetime. Number 2, 1 incident of domestic violence is reported to the police every minute. And 3, on average, 2 women a week are killed by a current or former male partner. Those were UK statistics, by the way. So, domestic abuse, it's a very common crime. And unfortunately, it's often a hidden crime. I don't know about the current respective situations in other countries, but here in the UK there has been genuine progress over the past couple of decades in terms of policing policies, reporting processes, and support systems in general. But of course, there's a lot of room for improvement. A lot of room. Just as with any other important issue, education is key to progress. Obviously, we want to live in a world with less violent and abusive behaviour in it. We want to prevent suffering and victimisation as much as possible. In order to really understand domestic violence, I think the issues of power and control really have to be taken into consideration. You know, it's important for victims of abuse to get the help they need. Of course, they need to get the treatment they need. But let's not forget, the abusers need our help too, I think. We do have some perpetrator programs in this country and associated support services. But are we too focused on punishment and incarceration? I have to ask. Could we do more to focus on rehabilitation? I'm a big believer in rehabilitation. Anyway, take it easy, YouTube, and I will catch you next time. Peace.